What's up guys, my name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video what I'm going to be doing is another brand new Fortnite guide. Now, a lot of people said that my last guide was really helpful on how to aim with each weapon, mainly the AR, and a lot of people actually improved the aim and improved the gameplay through that video. Now, quite a lot of you have been begging me to do more guides. Some of you have been actually recommending or asking me to do some videos on replays. So showing replays of my wins and highlighting what I did right, what I did wrong, etc. So in that spirit, we're going to start that off again with today's video, which is actually going to be a how to build guide. So we're going to drop in Tilted, and I'm going to be showing you some of the tips which I've learned and some of the things which I use in games, because I've definitely improved building. Before I used to suck at building, before A, I changed my keybinds, and B, I started practicing more in Playground. I think Playground's been the determining factor that actually improved my building in this game, because the thing is there's so many people in solos which are absolute gods at building. In Season 3 and kind of a bit of Season 4, but mainly Season 2 and 3, everyone used to be really bad at building, and it kind of became the meta, or kind of became more of a thing in Season 3 where people started getting good. But now, since everyone's absolutely amazing, people are having a hard time. If I go in solos, there's not like 1 or 2 pro players or 1 or 2 good players. Now literally everyone can build to save their life. So I've had to practice a little bit, but it's been quite good if I'm honest, because it's actually made me improve. Now you can see I'm using the Bright Bomber skin, which is pretty awesome, and I'm just going to be showing you some tips, but first we're going to have to gather some wood. Now, the reason why Playground's the best is, I mean, it's pretty clear, it's pretty obvious, because Playground you can get absolutely tons of materials to farm, and you want those materials quick because you're going to be obviously building fast, you're going to be practicing a lot of different methods, and if you don't get the materials quick, it's going to be annoying. Plus, if you practice in normal games, it is definitely going to improve your gameplay because you're going to be fighting against people, but the only downside is you're going to be dying a lot, so that's why it's a lot easier to practice on Playground. So now we've got some basic guns, and now we've actually got some mats. We've got around 999 wood. You always want to have 999 wood because it's the max wood, even in games when you're playing in solos, because a lot of the fights now, not just a few fights at the end of the game, most fights in the game you're going to find are going to be build battles that are actually intense, and because these build battles are intense, you're going to need a lot of materials to actually fight and possibly win them. So what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to start off with some building tips. Now, if someone's got the high ground above you, what you want to do is you want to obviously ramp up, and one option is you can build a platform above and build a pyramid. So for an example, my keybind is X and then pyramid is T, and then obviously that blocks up a lot of fire. So if someone was above me and tilted here shooting me, what I'd do is I'd ramp up, I'd build a staircase, and then build a wall behind me, then X and T to build a platform and a pyramid, so then it's blocking the fire above me. And then what I do is I'd edit out between them, and then I run up and then do the same thing above me, because then what I could do is I could block up the fire again and they don't know where I'm going to go. Now alternatively, you could carry on building to the side and hope the guy here doesn't shoot you, or you could cover that, go below, build a ramp, and then just do something to get through. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. It's kind of hard to actually describe if you're not in a game. Building quickly is another thing. You want to kind of get your keybinds in order. So for an example, the default keybinds on Fortnite used to be, I think they used to be F1, F2, F3, F4, maybe F5 as well. And on your keyboard, on most people's keyboard at least, if you're pressing the W key, the F key is 2 keys away from that, and if you're pressing the D key to run sideways, the F key is literally about 3 keys away. So kind of a stretch to actually touch. If you use your own custom keybinds, I mean, you can look at pros keybinds, you can even use mine if you want. Mine is X, Z, and T. So C for stairs, Z for wall, X for platform, and T for pyramid. I don't really use pyramids a lot, but what I actually started doing is using them, and it's really good. So let's say you have high ground, so I'm just going to build up and show you. If you have high ground in a game and someone's shooting down at you, or shooting up at you, let's say, if someone's shooting up at you, don't just make a platform, because I used to do this and I used to fall and dip straight through the thing and usually die of fall damage. You can make a pyramid as well. Basically all that means is there's 2 things that they have to shoot through. Now obviously making a pyramid out of metal is going to resist a lot more bullets, but it's going to take longer to build, and you kind of have the high ground by doing this. You see a lot of people like Tfue doing this. He builds absolutely tons of pyramids just to kind of hold the high ground. But one problem still remains. If someone shoots this piece here and shoots the piece at the start, for example, they're actually connecting it. Obviously, like I said, they have to shoot 2 pieces on each, so they have to shoot 4 to actually knock you down, and by the time they start shooting those, you can actually start building down. Let's say someone's shooting us down exactly like what I just did, so we'll just build right up here. Someone's shooting us down, they're shooting down the pyramids. What you do is you just stairs down. And then what you could also do, if someone's shooting you really quickly, one thing which I've learned recently, I actually got this from TFU as well, is if someone's shooting you down and the whole platform's going to knock down really quickly and you need to get to the ground really fast, most of the time building down staircases is going to take you too long. So what you can do is you can build walls down and then a platform. So for me that's Z, you can build walls down and then build a platform below it. And then obviously you can build different things at the bottom to kind of use cover and stuff, but you can obviously go directly down, build some platforms so you don't die of fall damage, and it's much quicker than building a whole set of stairs which is going to finish around there, whereas the platform finishes here and it probably will take you about 3 or 4 seconds at most, whereas building the stairs will probably take like 10 and it'll get you killed every single time. So they're just some simple tips. Then you want to be able to build ramps quickly, so obviously you want to kind of practice going up, you want to speed build. If you get stuck while you're in a build battle, this is the worst thing, which is why I'm going to do another video on editing, because you have to learn how to edit to get out of sticky situations, because if you can edit yourself out on the low ground, you can usually retake the high ground in a build fight. So for an example, you can build directly up with staircases and these, or you can do, I'll try and show you the double staircase. The first way is going up with a platform like this, which isn't very powerful because people can shoot literally the first few blocks, but there's still some things connecting into the ground, but the further you get up, the weaker the platform's going to be. Then you can alternatively do the same thing with 2 sets of stairs, and put the walls behind it as well to kind of block off more fire when you're going up, which is a lot harder, because you can easily miss the two staircases. So you kind of have to sway your mouse like that, and you'll make some errors, obviously. But this is going to block more fire, and obviously if you're building up to someone, they're not going to know which piece you're behind, and you can kind of crouch like that. Then you can also use the second method which I showed. So the first method is 1 piece and a wall, the second method is 2 pieces and 2 walls. Then the next method is you can kind of do that, but then you can build up and jump and make a platform below it, which is kind of like speed building. So you can kind of do this and just keep jumping, which sometimes can be a bit slower, but it's usually more safer because there's actually something below you taking a lot of the damage. So obviously just practice this. With my keybinds, it's pretty easy. I'm just running out of mats. If you're in a fight, I'd use a combination of these 3 building methods, and then what I'd do is I'd use the pyramid and the platform to actually block the shots above you. And you can obviously edit through the platform and pyramid, or you can edit through the sides to kind of get to your opponents. It's pretty impossible to show you how you'd actually get the high ground again in a fight without actually fighting someone, because unfortunately no one's on playground right now. But I can show you a few different building techniques which you can use if you're in a sticky situation. So they're the ways to get directly up. Then obviously we're just going to use the stair method. You can kind of edit walls and then jump up like that, and you can kind of just turn yourself pretty easily. So if you need to turn yourself in a fight, or if someone kind of builds to you, you can kind of do that. You can block them off, you can build over them, you can pyramid over them. You can do a lot of things really to stop them from coming up. But obviously when you pyramid, it's going to mean you can't build stairs on top of the pyramid, so you need to be careful when you're doing this. But then you can jump on the pyramid, and you can actually kind of just keep making pyramids. They're going to be weak, they're going to be easy to shoot down, because it will just be connected to one piece. But if you do it right, you can kind of make stronger pyramids, which is pretty cool. These are kind of good, especially if you want to heal. What you can do is you can actually pyramid yourself, and then you're inside the pyramid. And then for an example, I could just take a slurp juice, or I could use like a chug jug in a fight when I'm getting shot, and you can keep pyramiding on yourself. Then you can obviously build down. For example, if you want to get into the safe zone, let's just show you that again. You can just use the method which we used before and kind of build down, and you can kind of get to the zone. Now, this is the reason why you need 900 mats, because there's literally so many things that you can do. There's so many strategies you're going to need. If I'm entirely honest, 1,000 mats is not really going to be enough, especially for the whole game. So the strategy which I'd use is get 1,000 mats early, and then you've got the building advantage, and then you want to kind of drop people and just take the mats, because eliminating people and taking the mats is the best thing you can do, because it's obviously going to refill your mats. But just make sure in a fight that you have around 600 to 1,000 mats every single time. I found that around 600 is kind of the least that you need, because Obviously, if you don't have 1,000, you still kind of need some. Now, I'm just going to show you some more tips. Now, that's kind of all the building tips I can show you. I'll maybe do a second video with some more building tips, but that's kind of all the basic crucial ones you need. Nobody's really doing anything more than that for building, apart from obviously editing, which, like I said, I'm going to cover in a separate video, because editing's kind of its whole different thing. I mean, I could show it with this. It'd be easier, if I'm honest, to show you with the building together, but it'd be confusing. I just want to show you the building techniques in this, and then if you guys obviously want the editing video, then I'll make that as well. So if you do want the editing video, then smash the like button. If we get 20 likes on this video, I'll make a video on editing as well, and subscribe. I'll make the editing video maybe at 1,400 subs. So like I was saying, let's say we're building up, let's say we're trying to get the high ground, and then someone gets the high ground above us, and obviously we lose the high ground and we get trapped in the building or something, and let's say they're above. Now what we can do is, there's a few things in the game. We can obviously regain high ground. We can use the grappling hook for an example, and then we can kind of just build up and get the high ground again. Or we can use explosives, obviously, to shoot down the structures. When you're building, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. People are going to be faster at building than you. Obviously, people are going to regain the high ground. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. So you need to use things like the grapple hook, things like dynamite, explosives, RPG. Even though I hate the RPG, and I never even get it, everyone else gets it, but I don't. I would obviously use it if I had to. So you can use a lot of different tools. The game doesn't punish you too hard, really. I mean, it's all about the high ground, and if you don't get the high ground, then most of the time you're going to lose the fight. There's a few different things you can close the gap between you and the enemy, including the grappling hook and all the explosives on the game. So these are just all the basic building structures. I've showed you how to block shots from below you, change directions when building, build over your enemy quickly, all around 3 different ways of building up. So you can use these different methods: the 2-stairway, the 1-stairway, and of course the platform, ramp, and wall speed building methods. So I've showed you a lot of methods in this. You can use them all. These are all the methods that I've kind of learned from playing tons of Playground and squad games. You can use these to your advantage. Let me know if they help you win any more games. Like I said, if this video helps you, I'm going to do some more guides. I'm going to do guides on editing. I'm going to do guides on more of the game mechanics, using explosives, different things that are going to help you actually win games. And if you do want to see them, you're going to have to subscribe, because like I said, I'm not going to make the next video on editing until we get 1,400 subs, and I think we're around 30 subs away, so should be pretty easy. Just smash that subscribe button, guys. Every 100 subs we actually get, I'll do another Fortnite tips video, just to make sure people like them. Obviously if people sub, then I know they'll like the video, and if people smash a like on the video, I know that they'll enjoy it as well. So let me know if these tips helped you. Let me know if they help you win your games. Drop some suggestions in the comments below what kind of Fortnite tips you actually want, and I'll be back soon with another video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Damn, son. Let me begin. I came to win. Battle me, that's a sin. I won't tell a attacker. Punk, you better